good day to you. This is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Thank you for joining us as we are continuing our journey through the book of Matthew. Today, we are talking about how Jesus feeds the 5,000. Let's talk about that. And what I want you to see from this whole thing is how Jesus more than satisfies. This is taken today from Matthew 14, verses 15 through 21. So if you have your Bibles, like I do, you can let's read it together. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Now remember, what we read the last time, Jesus went away to a remote place for him to get away, to have some alone time. But when he got there, the people saw where he was going and they beat him there and they were like, "Surprise, we're here." And then he had compassion on them. So he stayed there and taught them and did miracles. Okay. So this is a remote place. It's not a town that has, restaurants and grocery stores and stuff like that. All right. So this is a remote place, and the disciples are like, it's getting late. You need to send these people away so they can go get some food. All right. Verse 16, Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." Jesus throws his back at the disciples. He's like, "You've discovered the problem. Why don't you fix it?" So let's see what they say. Verse 17, we have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, they answered. So this would be, and we get the rest of the story from Mark, tells it, and it was like a little boy in his lunch, okay? Similar to what I have here. I don't know if you can see that. This is the snack on the run. Snack on the run tuna salad. Fish and crackers, okay? So it has, I don't know how many crackers it has in this kit, but it's well, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5. How about that? 5 loaves and 2 fish. So it's like a can of tuna and the crackers. Okay, that's basically what he's been given. All right, this little thing, the snack on the run, that the little boy had. And so the disciples come up to Jesus and they go, "We've got 5 loaves and 2 fish." All right, and these loaves were not the big Wonder Bread loaves. These were, the smaller loaves, but not small like crackers either. But they had that, and so this is what they're working with, something like this, the Lunchable or the snack on the run. Verse 18, "Bring them here to me," he said, and he directed the people to sit down on the grass. Okay, so he did that, and you get that picture in Mark 2. He had them sit in groups of 50s and 100s. He did that so it would be an orderly event. And we've talked about that back in Mark, how Jesus did everything orderly. And so it wasn't a big mob like, free food, and they had a big mob. No, it wasn't like that. Jesus had the disciples pass them out in groups. They were all on the hillside in groups. Okay? All right, let's keep reading here. Verse 19, he directed the people to sit down on the grass, taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people. They all ate and were satisfied. Okay? It's funny. He starts out with this, and if I eat this, and I haven't eaten all day, and you give me this to eat, am I going to be satisfied? Probably not. I'm going to be like, do you have another one of these? Is there more? But no, it says everyone was satisfied. Okay, but there's more. It doesn't end here. There's more. He gave thanks. Verse 20, they all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. It starts out with this, okay, and it ends up with 12 basketfuls left over. Okay, so I have I have a 5-gallon bucket here, a bucket. So imagine the bucket. I start out with this, and I end up with 12 of these full of leftovers. How amazing is that? And it says the people were satisfied. It doesn't say, they had a token. They were all satisfied. All right, and they hadn't eaten all day. They were satisfied with this. Verse 21, the number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Okay, think with me here for a moment. How many people do you think were here on this hillside? Any guesses? Let me give you an educated guess, okay? Let's assume that every man probably has a wife, okay? And I'm going to guess conservatively here, all right? So every man, and this was 5,000 men, not 5,000 men and boys. This was 5,000 men, okay? So 5,000 men, and every one of them has probably a wife, all right? And let's say that every one of those has at least 2 children, okay? Remember, back then, families were larger than they are today. Today, it used to be you had 2.5 children per thing. I'm guessing now you might have 1 child per couple on the average here in the United States. But here it says that there was 5,000 men besides women and children. So we're assuming that there's 5,000 men. There's another 5,000 women, because each man probably has a wife, okay? A wife for, a girlfriend he's dating or getting married to or whatever. And then let's assume we're assuming on the conservative side that let's just go with two children here on the conservative side. And these families, remember, were much larger than that. So 2 children, all right? And so you add that up, you have how many? 20,000 people, okay? Think about that with me. In Sarasota, what arena can you put 20,000 people? In Sarasota, no place, okay? Van Wezel, Ed Smith Stadium, you can't be putting 20,000 people in there. The closest thing you're going to get is going up to St. Pete to Tropicana Field and putting 20,000 in there, okay? So imagine that many people, and Jesus fed them all, okay? It's amazing. And he had food left over, okay? So it's a miracle that blows your mind once you think about it, once you study the Bible here. So again, the main point is Jesus more than satisfies. All right? Think about that today. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through the book of Matthew. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.